Welcome to the very first episode of FlingGolf Theory. I'm your host, Tim Durr. With this series, I want to dive into the rules, techniques, tips, tricks, skills, all of the nuances that make fling golf such a wonderful game. We're going to start with the basics. In this video, we're going to walk through addressing your ball and some of the different shot opportunities you have on the course. And then we're going to build from there and get more advanced. And of course, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear from you and know what topics I can talk about, what things I can do a deeper dive on, and really make sure I'm giving a good base of skills and information to all fling golf players, whether you're a newbie or you're competing out there on the new Swarm Tour with me. There's tips and there's useful information for everybody out there. So let's get this thing started. We're going to start this lesson right on the tee box. So traditional golf, you'd have your tee, you'd put your ball down here, you'd line up, and you'd swing away. Fling golf, it's all about your foot positioning. So when you come up to the tee box, you're ready to take your first shot, you find those tee markers that are the right distance for you. Most of us play from the white tees. In official events, the tees are kind of set to work the course proper distance for fling golf. You're looking between 5,500 and 6,000 yards for a full 18-hole course. But you're going to find your tee markers, and it's okay. If you're just beginning, move up some, move up closer. Figure out your shots, your different distances, and then you'll work it back and you'll start, playing from the official tees, that whether it be men's, masters, or women's, whichever division that you'd be in if you play competitively. But starting out, find those tee markers, and what you're going to need to do is have your lead foot when you're throwing. So for me as a lefty, it's going to be this right foot. It needs to plant at or before the tee marker on my step that releases. So when I come through, the ball needs to come out. This foot can be here. After the shot, I can kind of follow through, but I need to be planted there. On the tee box, you can go back as far as you want. Most people have their 5 or 6 step process, but if you want to run a 40-yard dash, come up here and get all that momentum to throw it, ball will probably go 5 more yards and you'll be out of breath, but do what works for you. But that is the keys of the tee box. Where are those markers at? Your lead foot, your planting foot, got to be down here at or before those markers. If not, if I come down here, that's a fault and a 1-stroke penalty. So you've taken your tee shot, your ball's landed in the fairway. What do you do now? Whenever you approach your ball, first thing that you're going to do, in competitive play especially, mark that ball. You can use your putting slug, a divot tool, another ball, or whatever works for you, just so you have an identifier that we can build our designated fling area off of. So you mark the ball, you pick your ball up, you're ready for your next shot. What is important to identify is the designated fling area. So that area is 1 stick to either side of your marker, like so. And then 5 sticks/steps backward. So if there's a tree right here in front of me, I can mark this. That doesn't mean I can reset over here with a new area. It means that this is the left boundary of my fling golf area, my designated fling area. So I need to plant my foot inside, and we'll set this ball down here so you have a visual aid. My foot, when it comes up, needs to step right here, be inside and behind that marker. So behind the marker, just like we have whenever we're out there at the tee box. But in this case, you have a designated fling area, which will be a stick either side, 5 stick lengths back. So you can get a little bit of distance. Say there's a tree here and I can take a couple steps back. I don't have to be right here when I release. If I want to release back here, because I can get more height on my shot, that's a perfectly legal play. The important thing though, designated fling area, it does not get reset if you move a stick over. It is simply putting the boundary. So you want to have one marker where your ball landed, and then another marker to outline that boundary if you are getting some relief left or right, and you want to make sure that you're still making a legal play. Now let's talk about your ball landing in a dreaded sand trap. So whenever your ball lands in the sand, things are a little bit different. They kind of get flipped on their head some. Whenever you're out there in the fairway, it's all about your foot being positioned behind the lie where the ball is at, and you picking the ball up and throwing it. In the sand, your feet can be in front of the ball. So if we're heading this way, my feet can be up here. But what I can't do is pick the ball up. So if I'm in a sand trap and I want to try to do a sidecar to get out, my feet can be ahead of the ball. But I can't touch the ball. That's a penalty if I touch the ball before I take my shot. And I also can't have my feet leave the ground when I take my shot. If your heel comes up a little bit, that's okay. You're getting momentum. It's a natural motion. Your feet kind of rock and pivot, but your feet can't twist and land in a different spot or twist and come back. They can kind of rock. Your heel's off the ground. Base of your foot still needs to stay contacting the ground throughout your shot. Now I'd like to welcome the #1 ranked FlingGolf player, Austin Showtime Ebersole, to talk to you about some of the nuances of putting.
Hey guys, Austin Ebersole here, captain of the Delaware Titans, hopping on to teach you about the putting aspects and short game shots on the green of World League Fling Golf. So as you know, the one thing that we do like traditional golfers is putt. So you will use the striker pad here on the side of the fling stick to do your putting. Now you may also insert the putting slug that might have the slug bullet or any other type of weight to help you move the ball, as one needs mass to move mass. Now, many of you might not know this, but we can also do short game shots on the green, such as sidecars, clean sweeps, flop shots, trebuchets, all of those shots. But the one thing that you must keep in mind is that you have to move back at least one stick length from where the ball is at its original lie. So what you may do is you'll use a ball marker, a divot tool, anything like that to mark that. You'll move back the total stick length and you'll pull the ball back. And now this will allow you to do the shot clearly before crossing the original lie. So when you have those long 30, 40, 50-foot putts and you know that it's too far out of your range, by all means, please feel free to use one of our amazing short game shots. But hey, don't forget to work on that putting as well.
Thanks, Austin. That about does it for our first video here for FlingGolf Theory, covering how you approach your shot from different parts of the golf course. Don't worry, in our next video, we'll get into the different type of shots you're actually taking and talk through what are some of the ideas and advantages behind different shots, and also let you in on a little something. There's still probably a ton of shots out there that haven't even been thought of for fling golf. Regularly, every few months, someone gets in a situation, they try something different, and it's a brand new shot that gets created. So check that video out. It'll be coming soon. We'll post these regularly, and make sure you guys have some good stuff to check out here on FlingGolf Theory. Thanks for watching.